Good morning everybody. Well, it's time again to do another quick squidge rain the allotment. I was asked by some youngsters if I was going to do another one, and as it's, hold on, I've got it written here somewhere, as it's Children's Gardening Week, May the 29th until June the 6th, I thought perhaps I ought to. They wanted to know what it is that they should be doing right now. Well, I'm no expert, but I have been doing it for a long time. So, let's have a look round the allotment. The elderberry tree, the elder tree, it's a self-setter, but last year it was so full of berries, I was able to make my flue guard from just that one tree. Let's have a look on rain then. Nay then, I'm still doing the horse. Oh, that always looks attractive to welcome you into the allotment. And so I've done the pots. I've tipped a lot of the pots out, and I've retained the bulbs, and I've even got one dahlia root, and it's looking good. So, I'm still doing the horse poo for the scouts. The cherry tree, I'm going to leave the cherries this year, let the birds have them. Mostly because they're really tarty. Right, now then, I'll put some melons in here, and they got visited by slugs. Or snails, so I've put a bit of soot round them. Hopefully that will be enough to put them off. Then I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've got 7 water butts, and I've used all of the water because it's rainwater. So what I've done is I've filled them up with ordinary tap water. I'm going to use it today, but we're forecast with rain tomorrow, so I will use some from each. I have put in some of the water that I've made from nettles for the nitrogen, the horse poo for nitrogen, and comfrey. Yes, so there we go, that's it. We've got a little bit of colour in our little protecty bit. There we go, but that's it. Right, so let's have a look in the greenhouse. Oh, first of all though, let's pop home and look at the greenhouse at home. Oh, here we are at home. Let's have a quick look in the greenhouse. It's just that growing things at home in a greenhouse, it's a lot easier to take control of them. Right, I've got sweet corn. I've had a bit of trouble with things. Here we go. Let's show. Where I've got these little black flies, it's because I think it's because it's peat-free compost, and I've planted lettuce in these trays, and it's sprouted, but it's stopped. Now they've been like that for over 2 weeks, and I had exactly the same with leeks. I've got some more leeks there. I've had the same with leeks, and apparently, because I YouTubed it, it's a little blinking black fly that lays bugs, and the bugs actually eat the roots of things. So I've had a bit of trouble with that. I had sweet corn there. Anyway, the upshot of it all was I've put sand on the top of these, and that seems to have worked. It's got to be sand or grit, but you can't afford to water it like I've done there, because otherwise that makes the sand soft. So it's got to be in trays like that. sand is it. I tried crushed shells in this one, but I think I'll put the crushed shells in too late. Anyway, we've got leeks in here. We've got some butternut squash just coming up because I lost all my butternut squash, and I've got quite a few peppers. Oh, a bit of parsley. Oh, and a sunflower. Just the one sunflower. So basically that's what I've got here. Oh, and I've got another sunflower there, look. Oh, two sunflowers and another really nice. That's a bell pepper. That's been brought on in here. Originally it was they were sown in pots in my bedroom, in a south facing bedroom window, and I didn't have them I didn't have them little black flies in there. So there we go. Oh, and I've got a couple of tomato plants in here, look, and they're doing very well. Once again, they were brought on in the bedroom, in the south facing window ledge, where I didn't have the black flies. So that's something I'm going to have to watch out for next year, and I'm going to get some grit or something that these flies won't lay their little blinking eggs in. Okay, so let's go back to the allotment. Okay, so here we are back again. Let's go and have a look in the greenhouse. Right, I've got a couple of nice tomato plants with flowers on. It's Moneymaker. So if that's Moneymaker, this must be Elsa Craig. Or if it's not Elsa Craig, it's the equivalent. Because they do change these things nowadays. Right, I've also got the aloe vera. I've got a couple of sunflowers there. And some peppers. And some Tumbling Tom tomatoes. Or cherry type. They're probably Tumbling Toms. They're what one of the other allotment holders gave me, and I like them, so why not grow them? Oh, I was very successful with cuttings, and they've taken, so I'm quite pleased with that. I'm also quite pleased with this. See that there? That was not quite a full break, but the plant fell over. And it broke half of it. There was still a little bit of join, so I've put it back up. I've put a bit of grafting tape around it, and I've put it to a stake. It's bonded, look at that. So I'm quite pleased with that. So that really could do with going out, but I'm not going to put it out today because I think we've got forecast for some rain tomorrow. We haven't had rain for nearly 2 months now, so we could really do with it. And then I've got a couple of peppers there. They're bell peppers, that's the biggins. So they're straight in the ground. I might try another pepper in the ground just there. Right, so now let's go on round the plot. My strawberries here in the pots, in the troughs, they're doing well. Look at that lovely strawberry there, look. Now, I like the idea of this. See that? There's water in there. Impede the invasion of the woodlice, which like to eat the ripe strawberries. And these are coming on really nicely. They really are looking nice. Okay, let's go on round. Oh, the pots, I've just let them dry out now. Mind you, I've still got something growing there. And my sweet peas are doing very well. That's my shallots there, look. They're the ones that my dad used to grow when he was alive, and that was a long time ago, probably 40 years. And the sweet peas are doing okay here, and I've got one single sunflower, look. And that's because the blinking slugs, in fact, if you look very carefully there, the slugs have been eating the stem. They just love the sunflowers. I think it's because they were brought up in the greenhouse, and then they go out, and I think it's tender flesh for them. Right, So this is my onion bed. It's going good. I did put some late ones in. So I sowed some late ones, some seed, and they seem to be all right. I thinned them out so that just to give them space, and they seem okay. The beans that I put in here, I put them straight in the soil. Haven't come to anything. In fact, that needs weeding. And then I've got some more melons here, and I've had to put soot rain those as well, but they seem to have survived. So let's go on round. Carrots, they're all going to seed now, so they'll all come out. Unfortunately, the guinea pig's gone to the guinea piggery in the sky, so I'm going to take those and feed them to the horses. Early potatoes are just beginning to flower. Look at that, doing very well. Grass is really dry on the path. Right, now then, I've done courgettes and I've put some sweet corn in rain. The courgettes benefit from the shade that the sweet corn give them. They want heat, but they also want a bit of shade from the sun. Then this bed, I'm just going to prepare all of this ready for the rest of that sweet corn. And then here I've got a couple of tomato plants. There we go. Now I think these are big pink. So yep. And we've got here two cucumber, hopefully. Now I've sown some carrots here. Oh, there's just one come up there, look. I sowed some carrots here ages ago, and they don't seem to have come up. I think it's just they dry out, and I think that's the truth of it. So I'm gonna have to re-sow some more, because if we're going to get some rain, this little bit of the protected area gets rain on it. Then I've got another two tomatoes there. I'm not sure what they are. They're probably Russian black. Right, that's me sweet. This is asparagus bed. This is the one I started with seed, and it's looking a little bit scratchy. It could really do with a good old weed. All of this needs a good old weed, but there you go. You can only spend so much time here. I enjoy every minute of it, of course. And then the grapevines, they all need now thinning, so that there's plenty of air around it. If we're going to have some rain tomorrow, that is my priority job to do. Right, then I've got spinach growing, and I've been picking that regularly. I've got some self-seeded potatoes, volunteer potatoes they call them. I'm just going to let them volunteer, let them grow. Oh, more nettles, that's for the bin. Then this bed is a priority bed for clearing. It all wants doing, and these are French climbing beans, and it looks like I've got maybe two and a third one there, but the slugs have really hit these hard. So I think that was a slug trap, but it's dried out. Never mind. So, and there's my bath that's got potatoes in, and then that juice that's the runoff from obviously from when I water these potatoes. That was meant to give me some really early potatoes, but unfortunately the whole thing froze right through when the potatoes were just sprouting. Yeah, you can count for most things, but anyway, they still came up, so I'm quite pleased with that. So that will give us some really early potatoes, and as you can see, they're just beginning to flower. So, and then the water is going to go into the water butts to boost up the rainwater. This is my plum tree, and it is absolutely super loaded with plums. Look at that. It's just got so many plums on it. I'm quite pleased with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all, because I made plum jam last year and we've still got some. And then this asparagus bed, this has been tremendous, but now it's time to let it recuperate now, because I've cut so many of them. Yeah, and then I've got two grapevines, and then there's the grapevine at the far end there, which is the dessert grapes. Then we've got here, this is a grow anything bed, and now as you can see, I've sown some beetroot, and I've sown it, and I've put that piece of guttering over it, and that's to keep the sun off it, basically. Then we've got some beetroot. Oh, I pulled one of those day before yesterday. And then we've got runner beans, they're doing okay. I've taken the tops out of a couple. There's one there, look. Take that out, and that encourages them to send out side shoots. So they're doing okay. Now my strawberry bed, this strawberry bed, it's a bit strange. There's a ripe strawberry there. They look a bit tired. They just look like it's if so they haven't got enough nitrogen. And yet that bed there, look, and then there's some really nice strawberries in there as well. There's a real beauty there, look. I don't understand quite why. It may be because there was, I mean, I loaded this with compost. It may be that there's too much compost. And then I've got the carrot bed there, they've all gone to seed as well, so they've got to come out. And then I've got parsnips in here. They were parsnip seed that went to seed. I saved all the seed and I scattered it there, and they're all coming up. So, and this fig tree, look at that, they look absolutely tremendous. I am so pleased with these. Look at that, and look at the size of them. It ain't bad at all, that, is it? Oh well, these potatoes are ones that I just saved from last year, potatoes from last year, but these are shop bought Myras, and they're doing okay. Then I've got me bee flower bit. They're looking good. Oh, I've got a single parsley plant, and then of course there's the sunflowers. And there's a ladybird, look at that. And then of course the cabbages. This one looks beautiful, look at that. That is looking to me like it's almost ready to pick. So maybe I will. Then I've got sprouts, cauliflowers. I can never remember what I've put in where, but that's obviously a cabbage. They're greyhound cabbages. Then my two compost bins, this one's going down really nicely. It was the same height as that one there, but I took it off. As this one's going down, I've taken it off and put it onto the other one. And that is now fresh compost going in there. This one, oh, the wood, I put that on there because we had some high winds earlier. Well, actually a few weeks ago now, and it was blowing stuff off. Right now then, the bushes. That's me red currant bush. There's me gooseberry bush. They're all loaded with fruit. There we go. Look at that. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Then I've got my strawberry pots here. Oh, look at that. There's a beauty there, look. So that'll go home today. There's a couple more there, look. Once again, they're up here. I can put wire on them if the birds decide they're going to start pecking at them. But the very fact that they're in pots, in trays, deters the buggies from eating them. Right now I've got my garlics. again. We do eat a lot of onions. Right, and then my broad beans, look at these, they are doing so well. I've got them all mixed up, the times I planted them, mostly because I sowed some. I mean, there's some there, look, and I sowed them because they were in the shade. They were put straight in, but they all came up, and the slugs and snails didn't eat them, so I'm quite pleased with that. Then, oh, the strawberry pot, there we go, look at that, more strawberries. I think we're going to be well endowed with strawberries. Now then, the trees, the pear tree is looking absolutely loaded. The fig tree, not quite so loaded, but then you can only eat so many figs, not figs, peaches. So I'm quite pleased with that. And then the apple tree, it's loaded. We will get the June drop, of course. Grapevine at the back there. Now that grapevine had, it was a pavey mildew, and the grapes, they were just rubbish. So I've got to prune that. I have got a lid on it to keep the water off, to discourage that from happening. But it's looking like it's recovered nicely. So hopefully we have got some rain forecast for tomorrow. Right, and then I've got here, I've got sweet corn. This will be pumpkin. Well, actually it's not really a pumpkin, it's kind of a squash. It's Musique de Provence, and I'm going to put those in the space in the middle because they benefit from the shade from the sweet corn, but they do like it warm. Well, and then I've got a couple of Russian black tomatoes here, look. The pond is doing very well. The fountain will work a little bit better when the sun comes out a little bit more, but that's doing very well. Then I've got my parsnip bed here, which once again were self-sown parsnips, and the earlier ones they're going to go to seed, but I'm going to keep the seed. Let's just have a quick squidge at the beehive. Now then, we've got an inspection coming up soon, so we've there we go. They're looking good. I'm looking to see if any pollen's going in. Oh, there's one. There's pollen going in. So we've obviously got, well, I say obviously got, there's a fair chance we've got a surviving queen there. And there's a sparrow's gone in there to feed on the dead bees. You always get dead bees. So there we go. So there's the plot then. Let's go around very slowly so as not to make you dizzy. There's the plot. Hopefully the children that have asked me what they should be doing next, I hope that they've got some idea. And as I say, it is Gardener's Week next week, or the week after next. So Children's Gardener's Week. So hopefully that's it. So happy gardening and bye for now.